see Kim and Bob both all right from the start.
Okay, when you recuse yourself, if you look at the state stuff, you're supposed to leave the room. I don't think you have to.
I don't either. So there's, should I see everybody tonight, no matter what?
Sure.
Why not, right?
Just make sure all your green lights are on.
All right, everybody ready? Okay, good. I'd like to call this meeting of the Southbury Planning Commission to order, November 14th, 2023, room 205 at 7 p.m. Would everyone join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's, 1, 2, 3. So we'll see Kim, Jason, and Robert tonight. We need everybody. Okay? All right, let's see. Continuation of the public hearing, subdivision Willow Creek Estates, PDD number 19, lots 8, 9, 10, 11. Currently one parcel. I'm going to recuse myself, and Nancy Clark, the vice chairman, will take over.
7 o'clock, we will reopen this continued public hearing for Willow Creek Estates. Applicant will make a presentation. First, we'll have, if there are any comments from the audience or questions from the audience, that will be first, then the commission will have comments or questions. Introduce yourself.
I was just waiting for if anybody was going to come running up.
Can't hear you.
I said I was waiting for somebody to see if anybody was come running up. For the public record, my name is Mark Lancor. I'm the principal with Dymar, located here at 800 Main Street South in Southbury. And this is a continuation of the hearing. We had some other business that the commission was looking for that I have taken care of and funneled everything through, through Jordan. And you should either have it in your package or part of the report. One was the approval from the health department, and we have that on the record. There was other questions with regards to the condo documentation, the condo docs themselves and the declaration. Submitted those to Jordan, which are also on the public record. You find them in the public record here in the town of Southbury, town clerk's office. And then also in that context of the condo docs is in terms of maintenance of the common elements, which includes all the drainage facilities on the property, and it's pretty specific. Those were adopted on the detailed plans years ago, which are still now made part of the public record, and it's also referred into the condo docs. It references those particular obligations, so, which includes, maintenance of all the drainage facilities by the association, not by the individual homeowners. That includes any part, including the new parts that we've adopted here. And I believe those were the 3 components that you were looking for in order for you to hopefully close the hearing and then make a decision.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any comments or questions from the audience? Okay, commission members? All right, thank you. We will close this public hearing at 7:05.
I will reseat myself. Oops, I'll reseat myself now as chairman again. Thank you. Thank you. Public hearing, special exception application for Alaska Company, 586 Main Street South, change of building space, use from retail service to retail store. Anyone here for the applicant? Okay, here we are. Yep. How are you?
Hello, I'm Julie Hunt. I am the one that is proposing Alaska Company, the store on Main Street. And I am actually from Alaska, born and raised, And I'm really excited to present a retail store here in Southbury that would have a little bit of a trading post feel to it. And it was going to have nice quality, like gear and jackets outdoors, hats, gloves. And it would also have fishing gear for a lot of the locals to be able to, you know, fish in their area. We will also be having all kinds of unique gifts, but a lot of the stuff will be useful for the locals to be able to use. I am from Alaska, so I will be presenting some fun items from Alaska and importing them here to New England. So I'm really excited about this, and I hope that you guys are interested.
Okay. Any comments from the commission? Anyone? Questions for the applicant?
I just have a point of clarity. I got the health department approval back today and discussed with the director of health, who said that they were approving you for just minor prepackaged food similar to that of like a TJ Maxx style.
Yes,
That'll be included as well in the retail aspect.
absolutely,
Perfect.
yes,
So I think we should have that included in the resolution.
okay.
Okay.
That prepackaged food will be
Okay.
Yeah.
sold.
All right. Any comments from the public? Okay, come up, please, the microphone, just, there you go. State your name and where you live in.
Annette Matthews, 41 Tamiami Trail. I'm just wondering about parking, if it's a retail store, and wondering why there are so many empty places in Southbury, why they picked that particular place, and does a traffic study have to be done?
Oh, no.
I mean,
we-
it
no.
sounds like a pretty big store, but is there parking?
So the parking has been represented as 6 spaces, with 1 space to be deemed as ADA compliant. They have 3 employees that'll be running the business that will be parked in the rear portion of the property. So there's approximately 6 spaces for patrons to come and park, and this isn't a large traffic generating use case. So therefore, the commission reviewing the parking has determined that it seems adequate.
Right. And no traffic
I
study
just
would be
don't
needed.
understand, if it's a retail store, you're only gonna have 6 spaces for people to park? Is it that blue building?
Correct, yep, that is the building.
A retail store, how will she stay in business if only 6 people could shop at a time? You're saying TJ Maxx, like TJ selling a lot of stuff, which sounds wonderful, but where are they gonna park?
So there are niche-style retail stores like this throughout Southbury. This isn't a large traffic generator. This isn't a big box store that's being proposed here.
How big is it in there?
I think it's 2,400 square feet, the floor.
Not very big.
Does it have to be renovated?
Yep, they'll be doing interior
And it'll be a
renovations.
retail store, and I don't understand with all the empty places, why she would pick that particular building where only 6 people can park.
That is not for the commission
Right.
to decide whether or not, she should pick a different location
So what does this commission, what are you deciding on?
on the application before us today.
But if you approve the application, where's it go next?
Goes nowhere, it's approved at that point.
We have to be sure that it meets our regulations, and
Right.
the parking, amount of the parking does meet our regulations, and
What
that's all.
is the regulation that it meets?
The parking, adequate parking for the square
For a
footage and the
retail
use.
store?
Yeah, for the square footage of the store, 6 spots are required, and that's all that we need.
Where is she?
I'm right here.
You're not allowed to talk to her, ma'am. You're
Oh.
you're not allowed to, you have to address the commission.
Okay,
But she can respond to you.
Right, absolutely. If you ask us a question, I
I
can
don't
answer
know,
the
if I
applicant.
was opening a store, I'd want more than 6 people at a time to be able to come in.
And I understand that, but the applicant obviously knows what she's doing.
So only 6 cars, so you don't need any other kind of study.
Nope.
We have an online business too.
You can come to the mic if you need to
So,
respond. After she
all the
finishes.
employees will park in the back?
Mhm.
Is there enough space back there? There's a lot of stuff back there.
There's plenty of space, ma'am. We've done the study, the analysis of it. Thank you for your comments, though. Appreciate it.
I got a question. Where's all the water?
You have to come up to the microphone here and tell us who you,
Where's all the water gonna go when you put this parking lot?
tell us your name and your address, please.
Tom Masick, 55 Flood Bridge. I'm right on the river there.
Sure, Tom.
I got the brook behind me.
Mhm.
I think it's been in dire need for a long time, ever since they put the nursing home there, okay? Instead of staying in the brook, it goes across from backyard. So if you're putting a parking lot back there, I'm asking you, where's the water gonna go?
So Tom, I believe you and I have had some conversations in the past.
Oh,
You're
in the
kind of-
wetland apartment.
Yes, sir. So they're not providing any new parking to be installed. So right now, we don't have any applications before us to increase impervious space, which would have a direct impact to drainage.
Yeah, it would.
Right now, everything's staying as is.
Right.
So there's no increased turbidity that would be assumed just based on the application before us today.
Yeah, because in the last few years, it's only getting worse.
Yeah, you and I have spoken directly about your property. It's a precarious area, given the Pomperaug River and its, particular aggression at different times.
Yeah.
But there are no exterior changes being proposed for this application, maybe just some minor painting of delineated parking
No,
spaces.
it's just the property, I used to be Chainsaws Unlimited.
Yes, sir.
How about the property behind her, that the parcel on, the
That
two
is-
houses there?
That's the Parcells property.
Right.
So it's up front in that shed in the back?
Nope, not associated with the shed building, just the primary blue building that Chainsaws Unlimited
Thank you.
operated out of.
Thank
Not a
you.
problem, thank you.
Anyone else in the public? Sir?
Yes, my name is Tom Robertson. I lived in the town for 35 years here, and we are temporarily living at 17 Floodbridge Road. What I'd like to know is, what are the hours of operation going to be? Because it's already noisy there, despite the buffer with the woods on the corner. And there's also no traffic light there, which this is going to add to possible difficulties.
Understood. So the applicant has represented that the hours of operation will be 7 AM through 7 PM, Monday through Saturday.
Not Sunday,
No, sir.
okay? At 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I have another question.
Go right ahead.
Sure.
My wife had a question, I'll ask it for her. There's no sale of firearms there, I take it?
No.
Not being proposed to us today, no, sir.
Okay. All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public for or against, comment? Okay. Anyone else on the commission have anything after everyone's comments?
Does the applicant want to
Do you want to say anything else at the last,
reply to the
reply to
questions?
anything that anyone had to say or add anything?
I do have a business already currently in another town. I have been in business for 20 years successfully, and I have a lot of and clientele that is very excited about this business and coming out to Southbury. They do like Southbury a lot, and they're excited about me opening a business in Southbury. So I just want to propose that and their excitement to come out here. So
Okay, thank you.
that's about it. Yeah, thank you.
All right, anyone else comments at all from the public? Anyone before we close the public hearing? Anyone from the commission? All right, we'll close the public hearing. Thank you. All right, unfinished business. Continuation says re-subdivision Willow Creek Estates, PDD number 19, lot 8, 9, 10, 11. Currently one parcel. I'm going to recuse myself, and Nancy Clark, Vice Chair, will take over again.
Do we have, would you like to read the resolution?
I'd be happy to. Resolution 183 Willow Creek Estates, PDD number 19, Willow Creek Estates, re-subdivision, Lot 8, 9, 10, and 11, map 37, block 48, lot 8 WC through 11 WC hyphen LE. October 17th, this should be November. Whereas the Southbury Planning Commission on September 19th received an application from Mark E. Lancor with Dymar Engineering for approval of the re-subdivision of lots 8 through 11, Willow Creek Estates, PDD number 19, for property owned by Southbury Farms LLC as shown on the following. Record subdivision map entitled Re-Subdivision Plan of lots 8, 9, 10, and 11 of Willow Creek Estates subdivision, prepared by Dymar Engineering's Mark E. Lancor, professional engineer, number 12369, dated February 28th, 2023, and conceptual development plans, general plans, PDD plan showing slopes over 25% and wetland areas, all prepared by Dymar Engineering, dated April 12th, 2023. Whereas a public hearing was held on October 17th and closed on November 14th, upon which all information was presented and considered. Whereas the commission makes the following findings with regard to this application. This application proposes 4 lots on a 4.995 acre parcel. All lots would be served by a common driveway. Lot 8 consists of 1.72 acres, Lot 9 consists of 1.15 acres, Lot 10 consists of 1 acre, and Lot 11 consists of 1.13 acres. The Penn Development District number 19, Willow Creek Estates, was originally approved for the creation of 24 lots. However, the approval of the subdivision on June 19th, 2007, the applicant opted to leave out Lot 8 through 11 as a single lot to be re-subdivided following the completion of further soil testing. The proposed re-subdivision will keep the same amount of approved building lots for PDD number 19 per the original approval, general plans dated April 12th, 2005. There are no open space requirements associated with re-subdivision, therefore none have been proposed. All lots satisfy the zoning regulations for PDD number 19 with regard to lot size, square, frontage, all as more fully detailed on the approved general plans dated April 12th, 2005. Adding additional stone riprap to the energy dissipator for the bioretention basin between lot 8 and 9, adding additional stone to the southern side slope leading to the bioretention basin, as well as submitting a maintenance agreement regarding the upkeep of the bioretention basin to be reviewed and approved by the Inland Wetlands Commission, was a condition of approval for the inland wetland permit. The Pomperaug District Health Department, or the Housatonic Valley Health Department, has found the proposed lots suitable for on-site sewage disposal and wells. The Southbury Highway Department has reviewed the plans for the street subdivision, and the Inland Wetlands Commission approved this application on October 10th under the application number 1722, subject to conditions. Whereas the Southbury Planning Commission finds said application to substantially conform to the subdivision regulations of the town of Southbury. Now therefore be it resolved that the above application is approved and the chairman or secretary is authorized to endorse the record map at such time as the applicant has satisfied the following modifications and administrative requirements. Presentation of 1 Mylar of the record map and 4 full-size prints of all maps and plans as modified and approved by the commission, a copy of the filed common driveway maintenance agreement, a copy of the filed bioretention basin maintenance agreement, subject to initial review and approval by the Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Agency, presentation of a valid inland wetlands permit, presentation of bonds in the form and amount acceptable to the Planning Commission and Town Council as may be necessary to secure completion of required improvements as proposed for the following: a bond in the amount of $350 for pins, 2 pins at $175 per pin, unless it is documented on the Mylar map that the pins have been set. The re-subdivision is subject to the following conditions, and following notation shall be added to the record Mylar map. All lots are served by a common driveway, which is subject to common driveway maintenance agreement to be filed on the land records, bioretention basin maintenance agreement to be filed on the land records, and a signature block including an area to add an expiration date shall be on the Mylar. A time limit of 90 days from the date of expiration of the appeal period is set, during which time the applicant shall have satisfied all of the above modifications to allow for signing of the final record Mylar map.
2 questions. 2 questions. A bond for the sedimentation and erosion control?
Okay.
I think that we need to address that on each now application,
Got it.
so we can add that to the resolution. And the fire marshal's location of the, you had that right?
As a condition.
Okay.
We
as a
will add that
condition.
as well.
Both as a condition?
And the soil erosion bond will be the standard, or?
Yes, also subject to approval. we don't have an engineer, town engineer. Usually it's a town engineer.
Right.
So it would be subject to approval of staff.
Understood.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Congratulations.
I'll reseat myself now as chairman. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. All right, let's see. Special exception under unfinished business, special exception application, Alaska Company 586 Main Street South, change of building space use from retail service to retail store. Anybody comments?
I just have a question, actually. The staff report said that the regulations require 16 spaces, but I think I heard that it was 6 spaces is actually the regulation, so I was just curious about that. What is the actual regulation?
You guys can have an administrative quality to this decision. as
I'm
far as what-
wondering what the regulation is. I didn't know if it was 6 or 16, because I think I heard it was 6.
Nope, understood. So
Okay.
based on the regulation, it would be 16. But
Okay.
based on the discretion of this commission, they can determine that the parking generation and use case is.
I understand that, thank you.
No problem.
And there is some parking to the rear,
Mhm.
correct? Yes, which is not included in the 6.
Mm.
Everybody's comfortable with the 6,
Addition to the 6.
right?
That's a big,
Bob?
that's a big space over there.
It was a commercial business that ran for years
With the same amount of
with the
space,
same amount of space, so.
right, which is busy, right? Okay. I don't see a reason why I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Passed. Thank you. All right. Under unfinished business, continued site plan modification application, Chatfield True Hardware, 190 Main Street South, solar panel roofs. We're on a holding pattern for this, right?
Nope, this one.
Wasn't there something missing?
Nope, we have health department approval.
Oh, we do? Okay, good. Okay, anyone see anything, questions, thoughts on it, comments?
I have one question
Nance?
about the visibility.
Oh, I didn't read the resolution.
Any visibility of any equipment from the
I have to read that in still.
street, from the abutting properties? Could you address that?
So solar panels in and of themselves are a utility that is visible from the roadway. It's kind of, in essence, a requirement in order to be a usable solar facility. What the applicant has proposed is installing the utility equipment accessory to the solar panels in an area that's out of sight from foot pedestrians as well as the street.
Street.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's on the record now.
And the applicants are here today.
Yes. I have a question about when we approve these solar installations. There seems to be, over time, I wonder if we should require some kind of a maintenance agreement. Are they leased equipment, and so who they lease it from, lessor maintains it, that's part of their agreement? Or is it the applicant that is responsible for the maintenance of this equipment? Which one is it in this case?
In this case, that would be a question for the applicant.
Okay, here he comes.
Hi there. My name's Chris Palmer. I'm with CSW. We've been hired by True Value to design and build the solar array. So this project will be owned and operated by True Value, so they'll use all the electricity on site. They'll take advantage of all the available incentives and tax benefits. It'll be their responsibility to perform maintenance on the system, but our company offers that services, and we anticipate to have a long-term agreement to perform that maintenance with them.
Is there a warranty period?
Yeah, the modules have a 25-year warranty on them.
What about installation?
There's a workmanship warranty of 2 years.
So in this case, it's the owners, which is the applicant, it's their responsibility for maintenance.
That's right. It's their responsibility to engage with a third party to monitor and maintain the system, which we anticipate that'll be us. So we'll be, under that agreement, we'll be monitoring the system, and we'll perform an annual maintenance visit where we'd go out and do an inspection, check all the equipment, retorque everything, and make sure everything's good. So typically, all of our customers end up doing that. It's not something they're required to do, but we anticipate having that agreement come into place after our 2-year workmanship warranty is over.
So if it's not you, do you recommend somebody else?
Yeah, there's several developers and providers that just specialize in O&M that we would work with to recommend to them.
Okay.
And who insures it? Does the applicant here insure it?
The owner of the system will hold an insurance policy on it. The utility company has their own requirements for what that insurance policy is.
They do,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so to get the approval to energize the system from the utility, the owner of the system has to maintain that insurance throughout the life of that agreement.
Oh, that's good to know, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyone else for, any questions, anybody? Okay, thank you,
thanks.
appreciate it. All right. So we have everything in, so there's nothing that would hold us up. Okay. I'll make a motion, and then I'll read the resolution. I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second.
All right, any discussion on it before I read the resolution? Okay. All right, Resolution 190, Main Street South Zone B, 2D, Chatfield True Value Site Plan Modification, MBL B-2D, November 14, 2023, whereas the Southbury Planning Commission on 10/17/2023 received an application for a site plan modification data received by the Land Use Department on 9/19/2023. Whereas the proposed site plan modification would allow for installation of 193 solar panels and associated electrical equipment and conduits at this property. Whereas the commission has received requisite approval for the Houstonic Health Department District, dated on 10/18/2023, for the installation of 194 solar panels and associated electrical equipment with conduit, as shown in plan titled 60 kW AC Solar PV Project, prepared by DME and CSW Energy, dated 7/31/2023. Whereas the commission finds proposed use as indicated by the applicant for the installation of commercial solar panels and associated utilities, and in keeping with the pertinent regulations of the Town of Southbury Plan of Conservation Development. Now therefore be it resolved by the Southbury Planning Commission, the application is approved to allow, 1, the installation of 196 solar panels on the asphalt shingle roof for the production of energy to be utilized directly on the premises, subject to the following: A, the submission and approval of application to the Zoning and Building Department, and B, fire marshal approval. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? It's passed. Thank you, guys. Okay. Under unfinished business, continuation subdivision application, North Point Ridge, 75 Bucks Hill Road, map 33, block 23, lot 12A.
Good evening, Mark Lancor for the public record with IMAR, 800 Main Street South in Southbury. This is a 3-lot subdivision located off of Bucks Hill Road and North and Main Street North. It is approximately 13.6 plus or minus acres. It's 3 lots. They're oversized lots. We are providing a conservation easement in this particular location here. And the original lots are as located here, 1, 2, and 3. One of the driveways is being serviced off of North Main Street, or Main Street North. And each of the properties would also be served by public water, being that we're within 200 feet of the public sewer, public water line from Connecticut Water. And It's the two of the lots that are serviced right off of Bucks Hill, location here. I know that we submitted, resubmitted to the Health Department last week and dropped off to Joe. I'm not sure if you've got the report?
Nope.
Not yet.
Yeah, I think Joe's away, because I submitted to him on Wednesday last week and addressed what he wanted was just basically to show the public water. We originally had wells. So with that, we also should have correspondence that came in from DOT today, that in terms of the curb cut, they basically don't act until, they acknowledge that they've received it, but they don't act until local approval's in place. That's kind of the standard now with the state agencies. And, you know, it's real simple. We've been before wetlands and had a site walk. They liked what they saw, and I thought we were gonna have that meeting tonight, but that got moved. So unfortunately, I can't tell the commission here that we've got approval from wetlands. I anticipate it will be. They liked what they saw, but I can't,
So we
won't be
can't-
official until hopefully tomorrow night.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where we're at with this.
Any questions for Mark? Anybody?
What's the purpose of this conservation easement? I know what conservation purpose is, but it's weird.
Well, the reason for the conservation easement versus, I mean, the question came back, and Jordan had called me, even the first selectman had asked, you know, why not just open space? And the reason is it goes nowhere. There's no connection anywhere. I mean, I know all the years we've worked here, all the open space that we try to develop is really all connectivity. And so, and here, that doesn't happen. So this is really conservation. I would rather see it where it's protected, especially against the neighbors in this particular area. There's no connection this way, no connection that way. So it would be open space that actually really doesn't.
Why
So
not do it as, per our regulations, as fee in lieu of open space, instead of a conservation easement
Right.
that is not
we don't-
maintained by anyone? It's not, no
It's-
stewards, there's no,
It's not, you know, we'll just prefer, I mean, also in the regulations, you have three options. You can either give it an open or conservation or fee in lieu of, and we
Right.
chose conservation, and that's.
Okay.
but you would have no objection to considering lieu of open space.
I don't think the client has interest in doing that.
Ka-ching.
Cha-ching, exactly. It's a cha-ching. You know, so,
Who's going to maintain that then? Who are the stewards?
well,
Who's
that
going to-
actually will be it'll be on Lot 3. Lot 3 it's actually part of Lot 3, and then what happens is that as a conservation easement is restricted. We've done it many times over the years. We end up writing conservation easement, gets recorded. They can't do anything with it, basically, and it's just to conserve from a protection standpoint.
How many acres is that conservation piece?
You know, I was sitting.
Sorry, don't worry.
No, it's about,
About a half?
it's 2.5 acres.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's 2.5
Okay.
acres, so.
Yeah, it's 2.57
Yeah.
acres.
So it's part of the deed of Lot 3, and they are responsible if there's any dumping, if there's any pollution, if there's any, this lot, that'll be in their deed.
That'll be in their deed, and I've gone through this, and over the years, you know, Gail McTaggart's helped write us a bunch of these, you know, so, and that kind of language would be actually recorded in terms of the preservation of that area.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have in Southbury recommended language for conservation easements, because there are all different kinds of language too, that
Absolutely.
some are more restrictive than others, and
This will be highly
we'd
restricted.
like to see that language.
Oh, no question.
Can you
And
see-
I expect that would be a condition. I've got some templates that we've used before in the past. I can suggest one. I can bring it, give it to Jordan, and you can opine on it.
And while we have time, maybe we can review it.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Maybe we have to wait for wetlands.
Yeah, I still got wetlands to do,
Yeah.
and that'll be tomorrow night, so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just curious, why the weird cut of the first lot, like, or the second lot to go all the way around Lot 1 and come back around?
So,
Yeah, and Lot 3, just seems odd.
they are.
But just
I
give it
mean,
all to one.
No.
You know, it doesn't
No,
make
it's,
sense.
they're, you know, and I'm gonna be candid with you, there is a bigger picture. okay? But I can't divulge any of that bigger picture. I have to get through this process to get legal lots that
Yeah,
conform to the regulations.
Our regulations say that the line should be as straight as practicable, which,
No,
you
no,
know,
they say to the property line, to the street frontage. They do not say interior. I've done this many times. The property, the way it is, they need to be perpendicular to the, and every single one of them are perpendicular to the
Did you get an
street
answer to
line.
your question?
No.
No. We would like an answer to that question. We all have it.
Well, they're,
It's weird.
they're odd lots, but they're for a purpose. And I've got to get through this process first before I can move forward with our next steps, okay?
So
This is-
they're going to be divulged as part of the application?
No, because this is purely subdivision. If something doesn't happen in the future, then I got 3 lots. That's what it is.
The secret.
So,
The
I
3
mean,
lots is the challenge for me, because with lot 2, the concept of someone being able to erect an accessory structure on that western portion,
On lot 2?
on lot 2, would seem disconnected from the lot and would be permissible under our regulations.
But they would have to come back. It's also in the historical district. So there's a lot of other roads that you have to go in order to be able to do that.
Doesn't mean they wouldn't be able to, though.
Historical district has a very big play in whether things like that happen.
Right.
Exactly.
But the
So
possibility is still there.
There's
though.
always there's a very possibility I could have cut the lot and put a house right here.
Right.
I mean, I
Right.
could,
That would make
actually,
more sense.
yeah,
to the
I could, but we're not doing that.
Understood.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
So your undivulged plan, is that going to affect this plan?
Uh,
Because we're not going to approve this plan without knowing what it is then. We need to know if it's going to affect this plan.
I can't divulge that. I cannot divulge that. Because this here is a subdivision. And as long as it conforms 100% to the regulations, which it does, we've got a zoning table, everything is here, it conforms 100%. There's nothing that we don't conform to in the regulations. If in the end of the day, we don't be able to succeed what we're gonna do in the future, then I've got 3 lots. Just the way it is. And I build these 3 houses just the way they are. And nothing's gonna happen down here.
What's the width of that? What's the,
If it came down to it, I mean, even down here, an accessory structure still would, even if it was a house, it still would have to go to the Historical Society. And if that accessory structure met with the Historical Society's venue of what they do, and it met that, yeah, sure, you could do that. But it's no different than if I had to bring a house forward, put a house in that same section,
It's very different because it's on the same lot as a primary dwelling
right?
that's clearly disconnected from that primary lot area.
it is.
it's
Any
like, say you
change
put
to
a
this
driveway to
application
that and
after the
20 feet
fact, the
wide?
subdivision, you'd have to come back for
Well, I
approval.
gotta come back here anyways.
Yeah.
There's nothing,
That's
there's
basically
nothing
right, yeah.
here that I'm, I have to come back no matter what. But for me to come back to do what
Yeah.
we truly are hopeful to be able to do, is I have to be able to get my subdivision approved. And it conforms to everything about the regulations. But we will be back. This is not gonna be ending here, okay?
Well, we can't make a decision tonight,
You
unfortunately,
can't make a
because
decision tonight.
wetlands.
I gotta go to wetlands, and I gotta do what I gotta, so.
In the health department.
Yeah, in the health department.
Which
So-
hopefully Joe will be back.
I've, so the 20-foot width between the lot 1 and lot 3 driveway,
This is 30 feet here.
but it's 20 feet between lot,
He's talking about lot
This
2.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
yeah, like, if they were to build a shed over there, that would be their driveway to get to their shed, right? That's what they would have to use.
That would be their access. It-
Access,
It absolutely would be their access.
just so
but-
they didn't trespass on lot 1.
Right, but in doing that, I would also have to go to wetlands to
We
do
need
that.
30 feet, though, at a minimum, no?
But the 20,
No, you have, 30 feet is only for if you need an access way for your own access way, but if this was used for just purpose of your own property, you could have 10 feet, you could have pavers in between. Unfortunately, in that situation, then I would have to also go back to wetlands, because I'm totally 100% in there.
In the
upland
wetlands.
Review
You
in
would
that
also
that
have to
area,
go
so
for-
there's,
you'd also have to go for emergency services. If that gets blocked,
what back
you'd
is
also
what?
have to go for emergency, 20 feet plus a buffer. It's not enough. for emergency services. I think that should be looked at
No, no,
by
no, no.
emergency services
You
also.
if you have to, emergency services will come right up this driveway, period.
Well, unless
They
there's a
have
fence
pure
there.
access to do anything from that driveway.
They could put a fence up, though.
What?
Right, it's their property line, they can put a fence up on it.
Lot two, but yeah.
Sure they can, but you're talking about a hypothetical that we don't know that is even ever gonna happen, and if that ever happened, I'd have to come back to this commission, and I'd have to prove all those points. At this point, that's not even being suggested. You're talking about a hypothetical. This is the application that's before you, it's the 3 homes on these lots in this configuration. And then if anything changes, I've gotta come back to the commission.
I thought the open space requirement was 15% of the acreage.
What now?
I thought the open space requirement was 15% of the acreage.
It is 15%. The whole thing is there's a computation right on the map that shows you how we conform to those regulations.
But I thought
You have to consider steep slopes, and you have to consider wetlands. The proportions are here, the numbers are here, and it shows that we conform.
But I thought the easement was 12-point-something%.
I think it's 19%.
Yeah, 19, that's what I
Oh,
thought it
19,
was.
okay.
Over 19%, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we meet all those components, so,
With respect to the conservation easement,
yeah.
with its purpose being conservation and preservation,
Yeah.
because we didn't want to go the route of open space, why doesn't it include all of the significant areas of wetlands? Why does it cut in, and then similarly, why doesn't it continue into Lot 2?
Because we don't need to.
Okay, so you just met your requirement?
met our
and you're-
requirements.
You're happy with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody have any questions for Mark?
I'd like you to talk more about the lines should be 90 degrees as much as practical with 90-degree angles as much as practicable.
It's right in the
And why
regulations.
was
I
it
can,
practicable to have a 90-degree angle?
You got 90 degrees here, you have 90 degrees here, I have 90 degrees here from where it services to the lot.
Right, but there's
And
that,
I have 90 degrees here servicing to that driveway. So I can do, and there's a lot of lots in town. There's some lots in town that do all of that, and then they get squirrely inside. So this is not the first time this has ever happened. I've been doing work in this town for over 40 years, and I can tell you that there is still, and the regulations from the subdivision regulations haven't changed that much in all those 40 years. So, I mean, in terms of conforming to the regs, these conform exactly to the regulations.
Jason, anything? Bob?
No.
Bob Harrison, anything? Kim, anything else?
I'm just going through my notes.
Take your time. So when will we know your secret plan over here?
I would suspect that you probably will see something this winter, sometime, springtime. I mean, I'm saying probably sometime in February. You know, we've got some time. And after this gets done, I'll be candid, we're gonna come down and we're gonna sit and have a pre-app with everybody, okay? But I
Pre-up
cannot,
based on these 3 homes?
based on what our future plans are, okay? But I cannot do that until I have this subdivision. Okay?
Kim, anything else?
No, I mean, Jordan had really good points, and while I've been on the planning commission for 2 years, I've never seen anything like that.
I'm doing it for almost 40, and I've never seen anything like that.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Yep, thank you.
So we're going to put you back on for
Next month.
next month.
Yep.
Is
next
there
month.
any way that we could get this information?
It's on public record in town hall.
Okay, so I have to go to town hall to get it.
Yep. Thanks, Mark. So we'll continue that application until next month. What's the date on that one? Meeting?
Deb, sorry.
December.
For next month? Do you have our date for December? It is early, yeah.
I think it's the second Tuesday of December, room 205. Okay, the 12th. Thank you, Deb.
Thank you, Deb. Sorry to put you on the spot.
All right, moving right along under new business, site plan modification application, Region 15, PHS 234 Judd Road, metal storage building. Anybody, comments, thoughts? Pretty straightforward.
Placing an existing building.
The applicant has actually requested that we table this conversation until next month.
Yep.
They are in the process of getting health department approval. Since they are the specific site that they are, they have to go through the CTDEEP. So they didn't really want a discussion or decision rendered until they had all their information. So they'll be
Motion
ready
to
by
table.
next month.
I'll second the motion to table. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, it'll be pushed to the December 12th. Meeting 7 o'clock, room 205. All right. Site plan modification application, John Boyle Decorating Center, 168 Main Street South, revised signage.
Yep, you can come right up, state your name, and just give us a quick synopsis.
I'll take a peek at the resolution. Oh, I might even have it on here. Okay, cool.
My name is Christine Bracciaferro. I am here on behalf of Sign Pro for John Decorating Centers. They are proposing removing and replacing the existing signage from H.H. Stone and Sons. It will be an exact replacement using existing illumination for the main sign. I'm not sure if you have photos. I do have an extra set, okay. So you can see the existing illumination underneath the main sign. So we are planning on putting a green and white sign, John Boyle Decorating Center, above there in the main gable. And then as you see, there are the other 4 smaller signs that would also be replaced with non-illuminated signage as it is now. It is exact replacements to the point we are reusing the hardware to mount the signage. Let's see, I believe that is everything besides all the signs will be aluminum with acrylic letters. And like I said, reusing the existing external illumination and mounting hardware.
Would you address that word you used, illumination? I thought they were not illuminated.
I'm sorry, I realize I did put non-illuminated because the signs themselves are non-illuminated, but there is 1 existing or 2 existing light bars underneath the main sign from H.H. Stone and Son that they will be reusing. So
Under
we're
the main
putting,
sign? Under the main sign?
yes, only the main sign. And the other 2 on either side will be non-illuminated still.
And would you address that particular manufacturer's sign? I thought that was not permitted.
So, in doing some background research into this, in 2009, they got the actual current sign package approved. In doing that, Mr. Stone was actually looking to have the H.H. Stone sign up top, and then directly below that on the main sign, it was going to say Benjamin Moore. So the commission didn't feel that using the commercial name on the primary sign wasn't in keeping with the regulations. It is true that since those regulations have changed, however, he did omit that aspect of the project anyway, and then just continued with, I think it was just a simple change into that maroon color, and then the business sign was kept at that Benjamin Moore smaller hanging sign underneath the canopy in the front, which is similar to what the applicant's proposing here. And again, we don't have sign regulations that regulate content.
But this, it's not small anymore.
It's, all of the signs are being proposed to remain the same exact size as currently approved.
I mean, the sign that had Benjamin Moore was much smaller than what they're proposing.
Right, yeah, and it didn't end up making it to fruition with respect to the application.
Everybody see it? Pretty straightforward.
It's hard to see the other side here.
But that call out was for the
That next one coming up,
just informative aspect of the history of the parcel.
just shows the same ones, just replacing the other ones.
Yeah.
The other guy.
Very good.
Excuse me.
Anyone, questions or comments for the applicant or the signage folks? Bob, good? Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Give Nancy a second here.
Sorry, yes.
No worries, it's all good. All right, so no comments, no questions. I'll make a motion to approve it. I don't,
Second.
discussion, anyone? I don't see a problem. It looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Looks nice the way it's done.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? You're all set? Let me just read the resolution in here. We're at, let's see, Resolution 168, Main Street South, Zone B2, John Boyle Company Site Modification. November 14, 2023, whereas Southbury Planning Commission on 11/14/2023 received an application for site plan modification dated 10/19/2023, whereas the proposed site plan modification would allow for the removal of existing signage to be replaced with new signage reflecting the new business name. Whereas the commission makes the following findings with regard to this application. The applicant wishes to replace current signage with new signage reflecting the new business name. 2, the main building sign is to be 40 square feet and will read John Boyle Decorating Centers. Therefore, there will be a circular gold logo with green lettering reading JB. Number 3, the 4 smaller signs are to be 10.7 square feet each and read Benjamin Moore Design, Hardware, and Hunter Douglas. These signs will be set on a green background with white lettering. All proposed signs will all remain non-illuminated, whereas the commission finds proposed use as indicated by the applicant for the installation of new signage, and in this keeping the pertinent regulations of the town Southbury's Plan of Conservation Development. Now therefore be resolved by the Southbury Planning Commission, the application approved to allow 1, the installation of 1 40-square-foot non-illuminated main building sign, 2, the installation of 4 10.7-square-foot non-illuminated accessory building signs. Subject to the following: A, all lettering not to exceed 15 inches. B, the submission and approval for applications to the zoning and the building department. And C, any other change will require a new review by the planning commission. Thank you. That's all yours. All right. Let's see here. Under new business, site, special exception, temporary soil extraction application, 1416 South Ford Road, Rylex LLC. We're just receiving this only, and that requires a scheduled public hearing. Yes? Okay, so we'll put that on for December 12th, 7 o'clock, room 205. Okay.
I hope we, for the public hearing, I think I sent you, notify the abutting property owners because their past extraction affected, especially to the south there, that property owner, and it had to be rectified 3 different times, and also the people on the other side of it. And also coming out through the wetlands, there's a water course there, it's that they had to cross that was, I hope that the wetlands approval is given more attention. They had equipment in the waterway there for days and days and days. I want to make sure that this time it's done correctly. They should have had something to go over. It's the waterway there. It's an intermittent stream, but it's there.
This is the site right next to Hairy Dog.
Yes.
Across the street from Wheels.
Yes,
I'm not familiar with an intermittent waterway
Okay.
that crosses through there.
okay.
So I don't believe wetlands approval would be an aspect of this project.
Okay,
I was familiar with a lot of the blasting. Tim Baldwin was familiar with a lot of the blasting. He's really focused on getting pre-blast surveys for any of the residential property owners there that would have an issue.
any abutting property owners? Is that how it goes?
They would all be included, especially if blasting was an
Yes.
aspect of this project that needed to be done, which likely it will be. So Tim Baldwin's been absolutely fantastic as far as being responsive to all of the property owners during a lot of that blasting that was going on. There was a lot of concern with respect to the roadways, foundations, everything. Tim was on top of it, doing site visits, meeting with people, generating reports, having the blast data completely compiled. I myself went over to Wheels just to check on their fuel tanks. They have seismic monitoring systems in place, constantly monitoring. I got reports from them deeming that everything was checking out. Checked the intermittent waterway behind Wheels. There was no indication of any spillage or surface contamination from any oil or anything like that. This project moving forward will likely be minor in scope compared to what it was previously. He just wants to quote-unquote finish up the job
Yes.
before the site is kind of finished and ready to be sold as a, developable lot. So this should be pretty straightforward, but the applicant will make sure that he has all the information ahead of time, and I'll be working with him.
Great, thank you.
Do we know the area that's going to be affected by the excavation?
The area?
Yeah.
Yeah, the applicant will be submitting a pre and post survey of the area to be excavated and the work to be done.
What do you mean by survey?
So a survey of the contours
Oh, like an
of the
engineering
land.
survey?
Exactly.
Okay, so this is not what we're going to be reviewing next week, or next meeting?
If that is, yep, so that's both a pre-survey and a post-survey. What they intend to get at the end of the excavation,
Right.
those would be the post contours, and what they are currently dealing with on the site.
Right, well, I was just wondering, because I can't tell from the scale of this if it's going to be disturbing more than half an acre, because apparently that's when we need to have the soil control plan, or the erosion control plan?
Erosion control plan. There's gonna be an erosion control plan
Okay.
associated with this
Okay.
anyway. I've spoken to the applicant. It's likely gonna be much of the erosion control plan that was already in place. There may be some minor modifications that I'll be working on him, just so that this commission is comfortable. But a lot of the information's gonna be kind of carbon copy from what was originally approved, just because the applications are so similar.
Okay,
And since they're gonna blast, they'll do everything necessary.
yeah, and I also can't tell if they're within 50 feet of a property line of another, of a neighbor, because then don't we require permission or from that neighbor if it's within 50
So I
feet?
believe they will be, and I know this applicant is in talks with that adjoining property owner for some sloping rights in the event that that needs to be handled. So he's gonna have to have all those easements and agreements on hand for this commission in order to be able to make that determination.
Okay, excellent.
So we'll bring all that up at the public hearing if we have any more comments on it.
Precisely.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kim. Okay, under other business, let's see, 8-24 Board of Selectmen referral. Request to donate the property at 853 Fish Rock Road. Anybody see anything with this, any issue with it? Pretty straightforward. Bob, good with it? Bob, Jason, everybody good? Kim?
Yep, like open space.
Motion to forward a positive recommendation to Board of Selectmen.
I'll second it. All in favor of the positive referral back to the board?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Approval for the positive referral back to the Board of Selectmen, thank you. See number 2, 8-3A, B zoning commission referral, PA 23-142. Act concerning certain protections for group and family child care homes.
If you haven't had a chance to review it, I can
Yeah,
give
I
you a
haven't.
quick synopsis of what we're dealing with. This was sent to us from Hartford, so it's kind of something we're gonna have to put through anyway. But essentially, anywhere in a residential district where we currently allow single and multifamily homes as of right, we will now have to allow group childcare and family childcare facilities in those residential areas also as of right. Previously, it was under a special exception, I believe under Section 6. I could be wrong about that, however. But it's just amending the zoning regulations to include that in the permitted uses and then changing the Schedule A to reflect that. It's pretty simple.
Pretty straightforward.
We still will be able to address traffic, for instance, and other elements when there's a group home?
Not for residential childcare,
Wow,
not anymore.
okay,
They're capped at 12
Yes.
under certain circumstances.
yeah, wow.
But my understanding of this is the permitting office for these types of uses is getting more intensified for the licensing procedure. So it may be an aspect of they're covering more of it, so the municipalities don't have to cover. I'm interpreting it a bit because I don't really understand the full scope of why this was being pushed on municipalities to allow as of right. But as of right now, I've spoken with a number of different municipalities in kind of the same field. No one's really been having kickback with respect to this, so it should be fairly straightforward.
No traffic concerns.
Correct. There's nothing we can consider with respect to that,
Okay.
unfortunately.
And so what's the zoning commission looking for from us? Positive
Just a
referral back to
report,
them?
yep, this is just their referral to you guys, and we'll generate a report back to them with any comments, concerns, issues that this commission may have, or if you guys feel that it's permissible and
Anybody have any comments or anything to send back to the zoning commission?
No.
No, okay. I'll make a positive referral back to the zoning commission. Second, anybody?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, positive referral sent. Members' reports, Affordable Housing Subcommittee. Bob Harrison, probably you're absent for a little while.
I was absent, so
Yes.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
actually, the meeting had to get canceled because we didn't have a quorum.
Ah,
by this
okay,
time. So we're meeting tomorrow evening.
okay. All right. I did send you today, I think, article about affordable housing. Did you get it? In your email?
Yesterday, I thought I got
Was it
something.
yesterday? Okay.
Yeah.
What-
I think I,
Those are my
yes.
Oh, blend in.
I sent it to you in general. All right. Perfect, thank you. All right. Any other members' reports while we're on that topic? Anything? Kim?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, meeting minutes. Let's see, we have to fix some meeting minutes here. A couple of things. Let's see, under the North Point Ridge notes from last week, we want to make sure it says no public hearing. Right, 'cause I think it said public hearing, is that correct?
Yep, and scheduled a public hearing on November the
Right.
14th, so that needs to be removed.
Okay, Deb? Yeah. Okay, and then we need to add Larry's name, Larry's full name to the very end of the. Resignation, yeah, because right now it looks like I'm resigning. Instead of Larry. Yeah, I think that's all I saw. Anyone else?
I think I just saw a typo, but I can't even find it now, so it could be wrong. But I thought I saw commissioners with an apostrophe S instead of a S for plural, so.
That's true.
Okay.
I think we need to
It's more possessive that way.
show appreciation to Larry for his time and effort spent, too.
I agree.
Um,
And the best to him and his
In our
wife.
minutes,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, and in the interim, we are working with the Republican Town folks to address an alternate position.
Should go to the Board of Selectmen in the next 2 weeks.
Okay? All right, and then we'll go from there and move somebody up to Republican.
And congratulations on the election.
Thank you, everybody. Yep, Bob, thank you, everybody. Nicely done. All right, let's see here. What do we got left to do? Any other business that's properly brought before the commission?
Don't you have to vote on the minutes, or?
Oh, sorry, right. Thank you, Robert. See,
Motion to approve as amended?
I'll second it. All in favor of
Aye.
approving the amendment?
Aye.
Opposed?
Recusing myself as I was not there.
Thank you. Abstentions? Approved with the changes, the minutes, thank you. Thank you, Bob Harrison. Any other business properly brought before the commission? Anything? Anybody? All right, that should do it. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor of adjourn? Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
When's the next copy?
Thank you.
It's probably, well, the last one was October, so December, I assume. So, put it in my calendar.